Hi everyone, it's me back for our last math lesson this week. No, I'm not wearing the same clothes. I just am making this video in the future, or I guess the past, because I'm making it after, but for the future. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to say that everyone has been working so hard and doing such a fantastic job. I hope things are going well at home. And today for our math, we're going to continue looking for the area of different shapes. And I'm going to teach you a little shortcut, which we kind of explored a little bit in yesterday's lesson. But we're going to calculate the area of quadrilaterals, specifically squares and rectangles. And when doing that, we can use a shortcut, which is length times width. So we will be doing some multiplication today. So grab your book and a pencil, open up to page 655, and let's get this party started. So, unlocking the problem. Christina has a garden that is shaped like a rectangle below. Each unit square represents 1 square meter. What is the area of her garden? So one way we can find the area is to simply count the number of square units in all. So this is what we had been doing prior to today's lesson, is just counting up the number of squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So there are 18 unit squares, and so we would say the area of her rectangular garden is 18 square meters. Okay, that's not so bad. We've calculated the area, but it did take a little bit of time to count all of those squares. So another way we could have calculated the area of Christina's garden is by using repeated addition. So we would count the number of rows. There are 3. Here's row 1, row 2, row 3. And then we would count how many are in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 unit rows, 6 and 6 unit squares, I mean. So we have 3 rows of 6. So that means we're adding 6 for row 1, plus 6 for row 2, plus 6 for row 3, and 6 plus 6 plus 6, I know, equals 18. Now you might be thinking, wait a second, Mrs. Jockel, I know repeated addition is just like multiplication, and you're absolutely right. So, oops, forgot to put my 18 over here. So we could use multiplication because repeated addition is just like multiplication. So we have 3 rows of 6, okay? And again over here, we're just going to show that 3 rows of 6 unit squares in each row. So a rectangle is kind of like an array, and we worked with arrays back when we were learning how to multiply. So we would multiply in order to find our total. So it says here, how do you find the total number of squares in an array? We multiply the length times width. Length times width is also a formula for calculating the area of squares and rectangles. So over here we have our multiplication sentence. We're going to fill in 3 times 6. Now, does it matter if, let's say, Drew put 6 times 3? No, absolutely not. We can reverse the order of our factors in multiplication because of that commutative property. And 3 times 6 is 18. So, again, we find that the area of Christina's rectangular garden is 18 square meters. Now, multiplying length times width only works whenever we're dealing with squares and rectangles, because in a square or a rectangle, there are the same number of rows and same amount in each row. When we get to some odd shapes, we can't multiply length times width. All right, if we go over to the next page, try this. We see that we have another rectangle that we need to find the area of, and each unit square is representing 1 foot. So I really don't want to count all of those squares. That's a lot, but I can count the number of rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can count how many are in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then, since there's 10 in that first row, there's going to be 10 in all 4 rows. And I can quickly do 4 times 10 to get 40 without having to count each individual square. So the area of this rectangle would be 40 square feet. Let's move on to the Sharon Show. Let's keep rolling with this. Looking at this figure to the right, how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3 rows of how many? How many is in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 3 rows of 4. So with addition, that would mean we would be adding 4 plus 4 plus 4, 4, 8, 12 would be the total. Or a quicker way would simply do, we would do multiplication. 3 times 4, which again equals 12. So what is the area of the figure, Isis? 12. 12 square units. All right, down to our pink rectangles here, finding the area, and each unit is a square foot. We'll need to know that in order to put a label on our answer. So let's count. There are 2 rows. So I'm just going to write my problems out. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in each row. So instead of counting them all, I'm just going to do 2 times 7. And 2 times 7 I know is 14. And then Avery, what would our label be? Square feet. Right. Each square is a square foot. And we have a total of 14 square feet. How about over to number 3? Number 3, how many rows does it have? What do you see there, Hayden? 3 rows. Whoop, not 33. 3 times how many are in each row? Adam, how many are in each row? 5. And what does that equal? Lucas S, 3 times 5 is, you got it, 15 square feet for our label. Don't forget to label your answer, Liam. You know, I'm just calling random names out. You guys can't hear me, you know, in present time, and I certainly can't hear your answers back, but I'm just having a little bit of fun. All right, moving on. Number 4, find the area of the figure. Now, this time, each unit square is a square meter. So, on number 4, how many rows are there? Remember, rows go across. I see 4 rows. Whoa. Let's move it down here. 4 rows times how many is in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 times 8. Now, if you're not very strong with your multiplication skills, you may want to use repeated addition. You could always just count up all those squares, but it's going to take a little bit more time. So make sure you are still practicing your quick math facts. 4 times 8, we should have a good answer for that one. What'll it be, Brooklyn? 32. And what's our label? 32 square meters. All right, over to number 5. How many rows are in this rectangle? Brielle, what do you see? I see 3 times how many are in each row? I counted 9. Hopefully you did too. And 3 times 9, what does that equal? 27. And our label is square meters. So the area of that rectangle is 27 square meters. Rockin' and rollin' on your own. Give it a try. See if you can get these answers correct. Pause the video and maybe try just these first 4. Otherwise, you can keep the video going here. All right, so finding the area of the figure. Each unit square is 1 square foot. So I see 4 rows, 3 in each. So we're going to do 4 times 3. Ricari, what does that equal? 4 times 3 is 12, and our label would be square feet. Okay, over to number 7. How many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4 rows times how many is in each row? What do you see, Liam? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 4 times 5. And what does that equal? 20. And our label, Jeff? Square feet. All right, down to number 8. This time each unit square is a square meter. So that's just going to change our labels a little bit. All right, how many rows? What did you get? I got 5. So 5 times, how many are in each row? I got 8. So Lucas H, what is 5 times 8? It equals 40. And our label, square meters. Okay, how about over onto number 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows is what I counted. Times how many are in each row? Rowan, what do you see there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 as well, so that means this is a square. 5 times 5 is 25. Throw your label on there. We've got 25 square meters. Excellent. All right, on number 10, we get to draw and shade 3 rectangles that all have an area of 24 square units. Then write an addition or multiplication equation for each. So I'm going to use my rectangle tool to help me. I'm going to start with a rectangle that has 12 going in the first row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm going to make 2 rows of 12 because I know that 2 times 12 equals 24. And I do need my label, square units. So that works for my first rectangle. I want us to shade it in, so I'm going to make it pink. Although then you can't see the grid, but that's okay. So that has an area of 24 square units because I did 2 rows of 12. 12 plus 12 is 24. So now I need to do another rectangle, and this time I'm going to think of another way to equal 24. So I did 2 rows, so this time I'm going to do 3 rows. So I want to think ahead of time. 3 times what equals 24? 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So I have 3 rows of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I know 3 times 8 equals 24. And again, my label is square units. Because they didn't tell us if this was meters, feet, centimeters. All right, so that is for my second rectangle. And let's make that, I don't know, like this purplish blue color. Okay, and then I need one more rectangle. Let's see if I can do a rectangle that has 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rows. So 4 times what equals 24? 4 times 2 is 8, times 3 is 12, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20. How about 4 times 6? Yeah, 4 times 6 is 24. So I could do a rectangle that has 4 rows times 6 in each, and that equals, again, 24 square units. So let me fill this in. Let's go with this green over here. So, boys and girls, your rectangles might be a little different than mine. Maybe, you turn them and maybe, you just have them positioned differently. That doesn't matter, but make sure you write your 3 multiplication sentences that go with those rectangles. You could also have written repeated addition, but I just think multiplication is a lot quicker. And this problem just wanted us to see that we can have the same area but have different shapes. All 3 of these shapes are different rectangles, but yet they have the same area. They cover the same amount of space. Right, over to our problem solving. Number 11 is a go deeper. It says compare the areas of the 2 rugs at the right. Each unit square represents 1 square foot. Which rug has the greater area? And explain. Let's take a look at the first one. It's kind of a greenish color. It has an area. Let's see. There's 3 going across the top. So 3 in a row. And there's 4 rows. So instead of counting them all, I can do 4 times 3. And that equals 12. So this has an area of 12 square feet. How about the next one? 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 rows of 4. What's 4 times 3? Okay, that equals 12. And this equals 12. So that means they both have the same area. They both have an area of 12 square feet. Okay, so again, this just explains how we can have 2 different shapes, but they cover the same area. And in fact, it's just like taking the green rug and turning it on its side, and it would fit over top of that purplish rug perfectly. So to explain how they have the same area, we could say 4 rows of 3 equals 12 square feet, and 3 rows of 4 equals 12 square feet. So we were using the same numbers when multiplying the area, and that's how they both ended up with the same area. Okay, pause the video if you need a moment to write that down. For number 12, we have a think smarter problem. It says a tile company tiled a wall using square tiles. A mural is painted in the center. The drawing shows the design. We've got some sunflowers in the middle there, pretty. The area of each tile used is 1 square foot. Write a problem that can be solved by using the drawing. Then solve your problem. So they want us to create a problem. So let's look at the picture a little bit. I see that there is a border of yellow tiles around the mural of sunflowers in the middle. So we could ask a question about, what is the area of the yellow border around the picture? Or we could ask, what is the area of the mural in the center? So that would just be the tiles that contain the picture of the sunflowers. Or we could ask a really smart question, a go deeper question. What is the difference between the area of the yellow tiles and the mural? I think we're going to go with that challenging one. Don't get mad at me, Jeff. All right, I'm going to type the question out for you. You can write it down. What is the difference between the yellow tiles and the mural and the area of the mural. Let's be a little more specific. Don't want any confusion. All right, take a moment to write down that question. I think that's a pretty good question. That's definitely a go deeper question we could have seen in our book, but instead we created it ourselves. So we want to find the difference between the area of the yellow tiles and the area of the mural. That means we now need to do that and solve this problem. So let's count the area of the yellow tiles. Now, I don't want to use multiplication length times width exactly because I am not counting all of the tiles in the middle here that are the mural. I'm only counting the outer border. So I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 across the top. And then that would mean that there is 10 across the bottom. So that's 20, but I don't want to count the corners again when I count the sides. You only count them once. So we've got 10 across the top, 10 across the bottom, that's 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So let's just jot that down off to the side here, 26, and I'm going to put Y for yellow so I don't forget that. And now we can calculate the area of the mural inside. And for this, I could use length times width. So let's count how many are in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And how many rows are there? 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 rows of 8. So for the inside, we can do 3 times 8. And what does 3 times 8 equal? Hopefully you are thinking 24. And now we want to find the difference. Difference means we're going to subtract. So if we take 24 away from 26, we get a difference of 2. That wasn't so bad. Hopefully you weren't grumbling at me there, Jeff or Drew. All right, so in solving our answer, there are 2 more, 2 more square feet of yellow tiles, right? The yellow had 26 and the mural had just 24. So there's 2 more square feet of yellow tiles. We can't just say 2 more tiles. I mean, although that kind of is true, we're talking about the area. So it's 2 more square feet of tiles. All right, excellent. Number 13. Oh, another thing smarter. Colleen drew this rectangle. Select the equation that can be used to find the area of the rectangle. Mark all that apply. Okay, so let's see. How many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. And how many in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 in each row. So could she multiply 9 times 6? Yes, because there are 6 rows of 9. Could she do 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9? Mine. You know what movie that's from? Finding Nemo. All right, back to math. Could she add up 9 6 times? And the answer is yes, because there are 6 rows of 9, so that would be 9 6 times. Could she add 9 plus 6? No, 9 plus 6 is 15, and hopefully you can see there's definitely more than 15 tiles. All right, how about 6 times 9? Wait a sec, 6 times 9 is almost like 9 times 6, but just reversing the order of our factors, can we do that? Is that allowed? Adam? Yes, we can do that. Could we do 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. Could we add 6 times? No, we don't want to do that, guys. That would only be 6 times 6, and we have 9 times 6. So A, B, and D. All right, guys, home stretch, turn the page. We are at the practice and homework, my favorite part of the lesson. I bet yours too. All right, find the area of each shape. Okay, we can use multiplication here, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4 in each row. So we're simply doing 4 times 4. Think about it as I type it out. What does that equal? 16, and our label is square feet. 16 square feet. Awesome. Number 3, find the area. Each square is now a square meter. So we've got 2 rows times how many in each row? 2 times 6. And what is 2 times 6, Miss Brooklyn? No, it is not 14. I'm just kidding. 12. And our label is square meters. This time, square meters. All right. Over to number 4, length times width. How many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. Times how many in each row, Miss Avery? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Mrs. Jockel. Good job, Avery. 4 times 6, and 4 times 6 equals 24, and our label is square meters. Alrighty. By the way, you don't have to be writing out the whole multiplication. I'm just doing that to help you visualize what it is we're doing to get the answer, but it's not a bad idea to write it out also, because that's going to help you remember that area is length times width, just like solving a multiplication problem using an array, and this only works with squares and rectangles. All right, so number 5, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows times how many are in each row? Sir Liam, there are 3 in each row. I agree. And 5 times 3 is 15. Toss your label on there. Square meters. 15 square meters. All right, excellent. Number 6, Landon made a rug for the hallway. Well, that was nice, Landon. Each unit square is 1 square foot. What is the area of the rug? All right, we can do this. I see 2 rows times how many is in each row? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 in each row. 2 times 10, Brielle. We've got this. What does that equal? 20. And the area, square feet. 20 square feet for Landon's rug. All right, next up, Ava. She's making a border at the top of a picture frame. Each unit square is a square inch. So what is the area of the border? Well, this time we can just count them because there's only 1 row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this has an area of 8 square feet. Oh, no, Mrs. Jockel. 8 square inches. They changed the label on us. You have to pay attention to that in the word problem, guys. Don't be tricked like I just was. All right, over to our last page, lesson check. Yahoo! The entrance to an office has a tiled floor. Each square tile is 1 square meter. What is the area of the floor? I see 3 rows times 3 in each, and that equals a total of 9 square, and what's our label? Meters. By the way, I saw something really cool on Facebook. Some person, I don't know where, but in their entryway coming into their house, they tiled it with pennies. It was miraculous how beautiful it was. They used like really new shiny pennies, and they created designs with like the old, darker, rustier pennies. I can't even imagine how long that would have taken, but it was really super neat, and it reminded me of that from this problem. Okay, number 2, Ms. Burns buys a new rug. Each unit square is 1 square foot. Notice how a lot of these problems are about rugs and tiles, because those are real world examples of when you need to calculate the area. Whenever you are filling in a floor space, like when I was redoing my bathroom floor, and when I hopefully redo the carpet on my front porch here. Okay, keep getting distracted. Sorry, guys. Each unit square is 1 square foot. So I see 2 rows times 5 in each row. So 2 times 5, Ricari, 10. And our label is square feet. Okay? Down to our spiral review. Compare the fractions. Both fractions have the same denominator, 1/3 and 2/3. So would you rather have 1/3 of the cake or 2/3 of the cake? 1 out of 3 pieces or 2 out of 3 pieces? If it's chocolate cake, Isis, what are you going for? 1/3 or 2/3? I'm hoping 1/3. No, just kidding. 1/3 is less than 2/3, so you would want to have 2/3 of that chocolate cake because you'd be getting a much larger amount. Okay, number 4. Claire bought 6 packs of baseball cards. Each pack had the same number of cards. If Claire bought 48 baseball cards in all, how many cards were in each pack? Well, we know she has 48 cards in all, and those cards came in 6 packs. So we're going to divide by 6 to figure out how many were in each pack. So think multiplication. 6 and went on a date in 1948. What's our answer, guys? 8. So we would say 8 cards in each pack. All right. Number 5, Austin left for school at 7:35 a.m. He arrived at school 15 minutes later. What time did he get to school? So we're at 7:35. We want to add 15 more minutes. So remember, on a clock, 35 minutes would be down, the minute hand would be down at the 7. And, where's my pen? Okay, so here's 6, that would be 30 minutes. So then we're at the 7. Here's the 8, the 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, I'm doing this quickly. I should have already had this done. But all right, so our minute hand would be down on the 7 for 35 minutes. And he gets to school 15 minutes later. So we need to count 15 minutes on here. 5, 10, 15. So that means our minute hand is now going to be at the 10. That doesn't mean 7:10. Come on, guys. How many minutes does the 10 represent? We didn't go past the 12, so we're still on the 7 o'clock hour. The 10 equals 50 minutes. And it would still be in the morning because he's getting to school, so we need that label of AM. Okay? So it would be 7:50 a.m. All right, number 6, Wyatt's room is a rectangle with a perimeter of 40 feet. The room is 8 feet. What is the length? All right, guys, this is not hard. Don't forget what we just learned last week. Let me draw a rectangle here. The perimeter, remember, is the distance around. The distance around. We add up all the sides. Must I sing the song? No, I won't. Okay, so the total distance around is 40, and we know that the width of the room is 8 feet. So if this side is 8 feet, then the other side has to be 8 feet. And 8 plus 8 is 16. We need to know that because we have to take that away from the total to figure out what the length of the room equals. So let's subtract. We have to regroup a little. This is a little bit of work. Hang in there, guys. You can do it. 10 minus 6 is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. Now, that is not the length. This side here is not 24. We have to split it between the top and the bottom. So now we're going to take 24 and divide it in half. So what is half of 24? Who's thinking? 12 plus 12 is 24. So now our rectangle here has a perimeter of 40 because I know 8 plus 12 make 20, 8 plus 12 make 20, and 20 plus 20 is 40. So we discovered that the length of the room would have to be 12 feet. Okay? All right, guys, as always, it is my pleasure to tune in, hang out with you. I hope the videos are informative and helping you out with your math work as well as the other subject areas. If you need anything additional, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm always here for whatever you need, even if you just need someone to tell me how your day went. I don't know. Anyways, check in for my next video coming up soon, and I will talk to you guys later. Toodles.